Okay. Dan who? Dan double U. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, like they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews, as always. My name is Dan W. Welcome to episode 278 of the weekly Dan Who live stream, where we recap the week that was in Marvel Legends news. And when the news is a little slow, we like to dive into topics. And today's topic is about the MCU. Now, you know me, I'm one of those people that have loved collecting the MCU, and I've literally, everything above my head is all MCU. And it's all about world building for me, recreating in plastic that movie franchise that sort of reignited everyone's love for Marvel. So there are still lots of gaps in that collection. So we're doing our most wanted MCU figures, but we've got some films this year as well. So that may sort of affect our choices, but I will discuss and get into it because, of course, the co-host, Jay's Toy Collection UK, is here as well. Jay, how you doing?
Well, no, I am full of what we'd like to call in the industry the man flu. So if I sound a bit nasal, I do apologise, but the man flu has been rabid for the whole week. So I've not done a single video since I was last on this stream because I've been, full of illness. But I'm here.
I'm glad this is a virtual call because that man flu is dangerous stuff.
Yeah,
dangerous stuff. Well, I hope all is well and we can get through the stream because we're talking about MCU. Now, before we go through housekeeping and say hello to the chat, just you were out on MCU Marvel Legends, but you've recently been pulled back in. So 2 questions to start off the stream, Jay. Because again, I'd just like to try and recap people on your buying habits. Why did you get out on the MCU and then why are you back in?
Why did I get out on the MCU? Twofold for the MCU. It was the fact that I wasn't necessarily running out of space, but I thought I could make better use of that space and try to save a little bit of money because after last week's introduction, I might look like a right hoarder of action figures. So I fixed that this week because I've come with the T-shirt is ready. So as you can see here, display artist, not hoarder. So this is a Cheeky Monkey special shirt she got me, so I can just remind her that I'm a display artist. So I like to call myself, but. Yeah, so I was just trying to cut down a bit. Really, was the main reason, and secondly, I think the content has taken quite the dip over the last 5 years. I wasn't quite as down on it as some people. I was giving it a good long chance, but then I was like, I think even I'm getting a bit bored by it now. So I kind of stopped. Was what happened there, and then a change happened. A fantastic change happened, if you will, last year when I took the better half to the cinema, Cheeky Monkey. We sat down to watch the Fantastic Four, and she probably had one of the best movie experiences of her life. She absolutely loved the Fantastic Four film. She was so excited by it, kind of got me a bit excited by it, and I thought, what? I better buy some toys. I'm excited now. So the MCU has reappeared, and now we're up to 2 shelves of MCU. So I'm trying not to go much further than that. But the Fantastic Four is the reason I am back.
Okay, so it reignited that MCU flame as we approach Doomsday here. So have you, like last week we were talking about rules. Have you set yourself any rules within regards to the MCU? Like, are you only doing like the multiverse phase? Are you doing the Infinity Saga phase? Like, what are your MCU rules?
MCU rules, right? Well, when I decided to get rid of the MCU, I did actually sell some of that. So usually I just make a sale pile. Yeah. I talk about the sale pile and don't actually sell most of it.
It's just an on-hold MCU pile. That's all it is.
Yeah, Dan calls it the on-hold pile. But the MCU, I actually did sell most of it. I kept 1 box worth, basically a shelf's worth, of my favourite figures, just in case I ever change my mind. So I've got my favourite villains from the first few phases, kind of up to Endgame, bit of a collection for Infinity War and Endgame, and then I've started with some of the more modern stuff since. So I'm not going for mainly none of the kind of animated stuff I've gone for at the moment. So it's just some of the first phase, and I've started with my favourite characters from the current phase. So I'm not a fan of Hawkeye, but I do like Kate Bishop, so I have her. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge and a mix. So just my favourite characters should be the rule.
That's what makes everyone's collections unique. There are no rules. You create your own rules, and yeah, with the MCU, I think the general consensus is the quality of the content dip after Endgame. We sort of, unfortunately, after Endgame, I think COVID happened and like they went all in on streaming and they tried to do too much and it just got a little bit sloppy. The quality wasn't there. They went for, after post Endgame, I think behind the scenes they went for quantity over quality, and it sort of unfortunately showed. So I think now they're trying to reel it back down for quality over quantity, and hopefully we start to see that change this year with the 2 movies. So I have started a poll up, which leads me perfectly onto the poll in the chat right there. So if you're here live, get involved. It says, what MCU film are you looking forward to more? Now, you may not be looking forward to either of them, and that's okay. But if you had to pick one, I am curious, which one are you more curious about? Because I know people that just watch the Spider-Man films, who don't watch all the Avengers or anything like that, but they watch all the Spider-Man films. And I'm sure there's vice versa as well. So, Jay, where would you fall on this poll here? Spider-Man Brand New Day or Avengers Doomsday? Which one are you looking forward to the most this year?
Spider-Man, probably myself and along with a lot of people's general favourite Marvel character. So usually he would be right up there. With this one, though, I haven't quite fathomed what's going to be going on in this film. So until we actually get some sort of trailer, I've gone for Avengers Doomsday because I think we've got the gist of what's going on. And I'm quite intrigued to see Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Let's say Lizard is probably my favourite Marvel character, but if I could pick a second, it would be Doctor Doom. So I've been interested to see him in. The whole Kang thing didn't really work for me, so I'm quite excited to actually bring in Doctor Doom, and hopefully an interesting way, the fact that they've cast Robert Downey Jr. So that is the one I'm most intrigued about at the moment.
I got money in the bank.
Z-Man with the channel super chat. Thank you very much, Z-Man. What's he saying?
@agent_Z-Man donated £5, starting the party for the extra show. Looking forward to both, but in terms of figures, it would be Doomsday.
Doomsday. There's going to be a lot of figures for Doomsday, people. Be prepared. But Z-Man, thank you very much for the super chat. That does kick us off. So it does lead us perfectly in to the housekeeping. So as you know, anything over £4 or $4, Friday will literally read out your super chat just like she did for Z-Man, all right? So I appreciate that as always. If you hit that join button, you can join us today. I nearly started the wrong show earlier. You may have noticed I started Legends and Liquor because it is a Legends and Liquor weekend. So if you are a channel member at the Members Club tier, so it's not showing some love, it's the one above that, Members Club tier, send me a DM and I'll get you in this week. Group 1, Group 2, it is this Sunday. I always appreciate that. But again, if you want to, you can join us right now, live tonight. I will be doing a bonus show, as always, discussing the MCU. So if you're not into the MCU, you don't have to join us, but that's going to be the topic of today. So join us for the after show. If we get 5 super chats during the duration of the show, I will leave it to be public while it is live so that people know what they're missing out on each and every week. But if you're a channel member, it's there regardless. You don't have to worry about it, all right? So I always appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's say hello to some people in the chat then while we're here. Let me close that poll, scroll up a little bit. Gregory Trejo upgraded that membership to Who Crew Deluxe. That man doesn't have to worry about unlocking it. He's unlocked it for himself. That man is in control of his own destiny. Shout out Gregory. Damien's here as well. Cloud, Tac, off the shelf, says he's honestly not hyped for either of the films. And that goes back to what me and Jay were saying, is that I think people are a little bit down on the MCU at the minute, so let's hope these movies are good and they can change the tide. Jamie's there as well. Z-Man, as we know. Simon, the Imagination Emporium, says, evening gang, how is everybody tonight? We found out that Jay's got the man flu, but we think he'll survive. He'll be okay, people. Figure Photographer 1503 says, it's 50-50 poll. Let's go night sorted. I assume that's a typo. Let's get that sorted maybe. It is currently 58% to Doomsday, but it's close, very close. McMackerson is there, Home Dude. Madison Kingswood is there as well, the current queen of the duck races. Who else we got? I can see Eric. Who else we got? Martin. 16 Mike says, what's good, Who Crew? What's good, Mike? And Stephen Wright says, I'm looking forward to both films. Can't wait to see The Punisher and Hulk in Spider-Man, but I'm very excited for Doomsday. Want to see how the story connects to Secret Wars and excited to see everybody come back. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, we could have a whole conversation, Jay, on just MCU. Forget it. We don't even have to talk about toys. We could literally just talk about the MCU because obviously Robert Downey Jr. was like my guy. Like, so I understood why he clicked his fingers and said, I am Iron Man. It made sense for the story arc he was on, and it was beautiful. It wrapped up the MCU beautiful. They could have ended it right there, and I think everybody would have been content. It would have been sad, but people would have been content. But they've continued it on, and because of that dip in quality, obviously Kevin Feige's got back on the phone to the Russos and to Chris Evans and to Robert Downey Jr., to the winning formula, a formula that they know is golden.
Boy, he's in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
Here's 100 million each.
And it annoyed me a little bit, and I'm sure it annoyed everyone else as well, because I thought Robert Downey Jr. was retiring from the MCU. That's why they killed him off. So it's annoying that he was willing to come back all this time, and now they've killed off Iron Man. Because are you telling me an Iron Man 4 film wouldn't get people hyped? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I think they've missed the trick there. I'm curious to see what he does with Doomsday. I want to trust the creative team behind the scenes. I always say, have faith in our Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige. I like the Russos as well. So, and I don't think Steve Rogers and Tony Stark will be back in the way we know them, if that makes sense. I do think, like, we don't know if Robert Downey Jr. is going to be a variant of Tony Stark. Do you know, like, he has to be, because he looks exactly the same.
They've said he hasn't, exactly. I thought, but of course, are they just lying to us? And what
it has to be a variant. The whole multiverse saga is set up of variants and anchor beings and stuff like that.
It's probably going to be the other way around. Tony Stark is a variant of this Victor Von Doom, and they're going to retcon the thingy, and then you're going to get very annoyed, and it's going to go. I don't know. They could do some interesting. It was a great moment at Comic-Con though, when Robert Downey Jr. was on that and did the unmasking. I popped hard, people.
It was a great moment, but like, I hope it leads to great product. Do you know, like, so we're going to find out this year anyway. It was meant to come out in the summer, but it got delayed obviously until the end of the year, and then they're going to start filming Secret Wars as well. I have a feeling Secret Wars is going to get delayed. I don't feel like it's going to hit that calendar. Like Doomsday, they started filming it and then they pushed it 6 months. I reckon they're going to start filming Secret Wars, realise they need more time and push Secret Wars back as well. So I don't think we're going to get Secret Wars until 2028, but they're not telling us that yet. So we shall see, but that's my early prediction. But let's get into the Marvel Legends news this week. But first, as always, I just want to plug the channel. Not much in regards to reviews this week, but I do have a certain shiny lady on the way, so that will be soon. But until then, go and check out me and Tana talking Turtles toys, and we are ahead of the game here. This is a breaking news. We are right on the pulse of toy news information here. Me and Tana talking about the license changing for Turtles, but again, it's just me and Tana talking our love for Turtles. So go and check out Turtles and Tea. We did a spontaneous show yesterday.
Tortoise, that news reporting in that show.
Yeah, tortoise reporting for sure. But in regards to reviews, I think I'm filming, I don't know why I'm filming it, Jay, but I'm filming, do you know the Variant Sentinels? I don't know why I'm wasting my time, to be completely honest, but I think I'm, for the sake of content...
How have you even got the Variant? Why have you got those?
Rich sent on me. Rich loves the Konami game, so Rich brought them. So Rich sent on me to have some content.
I suppose that's on topic, because there is the game collection they announced last week with the Konami games, so I can actually finally play them for the first time in my entire life.
I actually had a playthrough recently myself and realised there are multiple variants of the Sentinels, and I show in my review, I show the different screen grabs, that you could actually have another 2-pack. Like, there's other variants of the Sentinels as well, so there's probably another repaint coming down the line as well. But anyway, I'll throw that up over the weekend and I'll get 10 views. It's absolutely fine. 9 of them will be Michael, the other one will be me. So go check out the content on the channel as always. But this week's pre-orders, we're going to get into the MCU soon. On the 3rd of March, it was that shiny lady I was referring to. I did sort of reveal this in a hotel room, but then I was embargoed until it was revealed officially. So I recorded it ahead of time, but anyway, I digress. It's Diamond Form Emma Frost. Jay was there. Jay witnessed the whole recording.
I can verify he did record it ahead of time.
Yeah.
I've never lied in bed and watched an action figure review live in front of some curtains before, but I did that night.
Yeah, I filmed a review, not even a review, a reveal video, but it didn't even end up being the reveal, unfortunately. But it's fine. It was still quick. I was ready to go. But Diamond Form Emma Frost is a Target exclusive in the US. It seems that they're continuing that X-Men card back theme. It goes beautifully with the astonishing X-Men. That Emma Frost is a little bit frustrating, though, not going to lie. The cape is a bit awkward to pose and stuff. And is she really Diamond Form, or is she translucent? Like, everyone's saying there should be a little bit of a sparkle in the plastic, and I agree. I think it's not the best reflection of Diamond Form, but I don't have any of the Diamond Form Emma Frosts. Rich is actually sending me the Diamond Select version and the old Marvel Legend version. So
the old Marvel Legend.
Yeah, so I can do a comparison.
I did own that figure. It's probably one of the 2 worst Marvel Legends ever.
Yeah.
So it could be. She's got a squashed head. It'd be quite a funny comparison.
I don't have it, but Rich is sending it across to do a comparison with. So hopefully I get that reviewed next week. But because we don't have Targets in the UK, it is available to pre-order in all the places you buy Marvel Legends. So again, I can only ever share the UK buying experience because that's what I deal with. I don't have Targets. I always feel the frustration from my American friends. I get it, but we don't have it here, or fortunately for us on this occasion. So this is available in all the places you buy Marvel Legends. Are you getting this one, Jay?
I will add it to my list at some point. I'd like a bit of hotel curtain to go with it, just to remember that evening. But
just
she'll go somewhere in the display. Yeah.
So she's up for pre-order now. It should be on Target shelves soon enough. But she went up for pre-order on the 3rd, and then just yesterday, this 2-pack went up for pre-order with Muse and Bullseye. Remember, this is a comic 2-pack, but of course heavily influenced by their appearances in last year's Born Again. We all assumed that we would be getting live-action versions of Muse and Bullseye, but we were surprised to see they were comic, which isn't really a complaint because I actually like the fact that we're adding more comic villains to the shelf. And remember, a lot of red paint. So that red paint means he's an exclusive to Hasbro Pulse, which Jay unfortunately found out earlier, right, Jay?
Did, yes. I knew it was Pulse exclusive in the US, but as you've just saying with like the Target and Walmart stuff, usually in the UK, it does usually end up going to all our online retailers. So I've not been quick off the mark to pre-order for the last couple of years when it comes to Legends. I just usually pick them up when they come in stock or just try and get a slight little discount on them just because there's far too many toys to buy. So this would prove to be a bit of an error because this does appear to be Pulse exclusive in the UK. And I looked 2 hours ago and saw the little red button of doom that it's actually sold out over here as well. So hopefully some stock will appear when it actually comes in stock, which it sometimes does. Otherwise, I've shit the bed on this one.
Yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. We shall see. I think it'll be fine. So Emma Frost is up for pre-order right now, not just on Pulse, she's on all the independents as well, In-Demand, Star Action Figures, Comic and Cocktails, etc, etc. But unfortunately, that 2-pack is only available on Pulse and it's now sold out. So, like Jay, you'll have to wait until it probably pops back in closer to release, which I think we got
a date?
Yeah, it's the 27th of May. 27th of May. So I'll be able to get my hands on this next week, I think, probably. I'll give Rich a ring. No, I'm joking. I have no idea. But no idea. But yeah, both of these are up for pre-order. They were the Marvel Legends up for pre-order this week. Has it sold out in the US as well? Again, I can only speak for the UK, but have both of these sold out in the US? Again, it's always a bit scaremongering, isn't it, when the pre-orders sell out because they haven't really sold out. It's just the quantity that they put on the computer has sold out, but they're going to have plenty of stock, I'm sure.
Sells out pretty instantly, usually
John,
in the US.
John says it's sold out, but again, it's just the number that they punch into the computer. I'm sure there will be more stock. They try and create that panic. That's all it is. You'll be fine, people. Don't you worry. I've already seen a few grumpy messages on Facebook and what about it selling out. But we've played this game before. We've all been here before. It sells out quick, but you'll be able to get it down the line. Don't you worry, people. So yeah, both of them up for pre-order this week. So that was your Marvel Legends news. It was just in the form of pre-orders, no actually reveals, anything like that. So that leads us into our conversation of topic today for the MCU. But before I do that, I forgot to plug. I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram. So if you're in the UK, so I apologise again, this is only UK, but if you are in the UK and you have an Instagram account, then you've got to be in it to win it. It's as simple as that. The Doom helmet, it is the year of Doomsday. This is being given away by In Demand Toys. So I am hosting their giveaway, as I assume Marvel fans follow my accounts. That's what I can only assume. So I thought it'd be a good place to do a Marvel themed giveaway, and so did In Demand. So all you have to do is follow In Demand, like the post, and tag 2 friends in the comments, and I'll be doing the giveaway on Legends and Liquor this weekend. So bonus points if you're there live, but if you want to be in it to win it, go and check out my Instagram post and shout out In Demand Toys for the giveaway. I might also have another giveaway coming up soon as well, so we shall see. But right, let's get into this. Let's get into this MCU then. So the title of this video is called Most Wanted MCU. Now, we've got to put a few caveats on this, Jay, because we've got films coming out this year, like we've already mentioned. Doomsday, Brand New Day are the 2 movies. Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and Doomsday, 2 movies. But in regards to live action, we've got Daredevil Born Again, which is coming out this month. Then we've got Punisher, which happens after Spider-Man, so I think Punisher is going to be about August time, but again, no official date
it's
yet.
Just a one-off, isn't it?
Just a one-off.
It's one of those.
It's like Werewolf by Night, where it's just a movie-length episode of the Punisher, essentially, and it's going to be a continuation. So whatever happens in Spider-Man Brand New Day, his story arc will continue into his special. And then at the end of the year, we're going to get Vision. I'm assuming Vision will have to happen before Doomsday, right? Because maybe there'll be something that happens in Vision that has knock-on effects in Doomsday, or I don't know. I'm just assuming, because Doomsday's is the 18th of December, so Vision's got to be before that, right? Maybe November or October?
You would think so. Again, the continuing story of the sort of white Vision from the end of WandaVision is what I assume the Vision show is actually going to be. I can just see Chris Randall says Pulse has stock again of the Muse 2-pack, so it has reappeared in the US.
Okay,
so it may reappear in the UK as well.
Remember, you can put pre-order in on Pulse and then just cancel it later in your orders. So you can always just put a pre-order in and then just decide later if you want it or not. Like, just it's easy, people, easy. You've all collectors. You've all played this game before. And then the last 2 at the bottom were Spider-Man, Spider-Man the Amazing. What is it even called? Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
I've not watched it. Have you watched it?
I've watched episode 1.
Any good?
It's all right.
You never went back to it. It didn't pull you in, did it?
No, I haven't gone back to it. So that probably does say it was the animation was quite jarring. It was like it was kind of like a comic book come to life. It was very bright, and it was kind of hurting my eyes for a bit. So I kind of never went back to it.
It's technically MCU, so it must be like a multiverse situation with Spider-Man then. Yeah, I've never watched it. I'm not saying it's not good. I haven't got around to watching it. I still haven't watched Echo, people, and I still haven't. There's another one I haven't watched either. I still haven't watched Ironheart, Echo. I haven't seen them.
I've watched Echo. Yeah, I didn't get on with Echo, so that was kind of, I'd say, getting out of the MCU. Ironheart, no, I haven't watched Ironheart either, and I still haven't watched Wonder Man. So
Wonder Man's
I need to.
Good. I would recommend Wonder Man. I liked Wonder Man, so yeah, I would recommend Wonder Man. It's not your typical MCU. It's different, but in a good way. I enjoy. It's more character driven. That's the best way. There
seemed to be a lot of Trevor going on.
Yeah, Trevor's like main cast. Trevor's like the second lead of the show.
But Trevor still irritates me from way back, and the whole Mandarin thing in Iron Man 3. I'm like,
you get more of his story.
As a man,
you get more.
As a man that has been campaigning for a Mandarin Marvel Legends figure for many a year now, and then that was the kind of fake out Mandarin thing we got. Yeah, I'm still angry.
Well, we have
Wenwu 10 years
now.
Later.
We have the technical real Mandarin of the 10 rings. We have him in Marvel Legends form. Do you have him? Do you even have him?
I had him. I sold him.
So you've just talked about one in the Mandarin, and then there's an actual Mandarin in the MCU, and you don't even have him anymore.
Well, yeah, I thought about rebuying him. He's down to a £5 sale, so he's not clearly not a popular figure.
Get the Mandarin, Mr. Wenwu. So yeah. Anyway, lots of MCU products. So in today's rules, we didn't want to pick anything that we could potentially get from one of these movies. So, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. Obviously, from the upcoming Deadpool wave, all my reviews are on the channel right now for that. We got X-23 and Blade, okay? And we also got the sleeveless Wolverine. We're also getting the deluxe Deadpool as well. So, obviously, straight away, a gap we need, because these are MCU now, is Gambit and Elektra. But there could be potential for them to be released later this year because of Doomsday or something, especially Gambit. Maybe Gambit more so than Elektra. But my point is, I wanted to avoid picking stuff that could potentially be in upcoming films. So instead today, our picks are more... Our picks are very much Infinity Saga driven, Jay. There are a few things out of the Infinity Saga, but the majority of our picks are Infinity Saga.
We've gone older, a bit of backtracking in today's stream.
You know me, I always say it's about world building and it's about character representation. Sometimes a character may not be the most fun action figure, but when you're building a plastic representation of a live action movie, sometimes it's just about having that representation of an important character, even if they're not the most toyetic of people. So that may have influenced some of the picks today. But I just want to throw up the main cast of Doomsday, because we are rumoured to get multiple waves of Doomsday. Again, David Display said it himself.
I thought you were going to throw the chairs up there.
No, not the chairs. These are the actual pictures. So, like, if there's normally about 6 or 7 figures in a Marvel Legends wave, right? That's a generic Build-A-Figure wave. But most of the MCU waves in the recent time haven't been Build-A-Figures. What was we got Fantastic Four wasn't a Build-A-Figure wave. Brand New Day was a couple of deluxes. Thunderbolts was a couple of 2-packs. So
yeah, we barely had waves apart from Fantastic Four. We've gone to this deluxe model.
This is my point. So I don't even know if we're going to get the traditional, here's a Doomsday wave, here's a Doomsday Build-A-Figure wave. We may just get like, here's a deluxe, here's a 2-pack, here's a 3-pack, here's a single figure. So we don't know how they're going to release figures for Doomsday, but we know Disney are going to go hard on this next Avengers movie. Like this is there's going to be product and there's going to be Marvel Legends. I don't think that's going to be to anyone's surprise. So a lot of these we're probably going to be getting again in figure form. Now some we need more than others. Some we've recently had, but others maybe a little bit more wanted. Kelsey Grammer as the Beast, for example. I'd really want that in action figure form. But especially all these old school X-Men as well. We don't even know what Robbie Downey Jr.'s Doom's going to look like yet. But I think, look, there's Channing Tatum, like I mentioned. God, Loki as well. We still need a couple of the Thunderbolts to complete that team in their more recent looks. So my point is, a lot of these are going to be coming this year. Which ones, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a few of these and some surprises as well. I guarantee you we're going to get characters in that movie that have not officially been... Look, there's no Steve Evans on that list, and he appeared in the little... teasers, didn't he?
In the trailers, yeah. There's no with those chairs have got to been they're 8 hours of chair streaming. They've definitely hidden stuff behind that. I just hope that they don't change the concept art too much, because this was another reason I should have said I got out of the MCU, is buying figures and then having to rebind them again later because they have to base them on concept art, which I understand because they come out for the movie release, but then they're so far off you've got to buy them again. So please get Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom correct. Please.
Yeah. Let's find. It depends how early the figures come out, and because if the figures come out early and then they make tweaks in CGI, like that's what happened with the quantum suits. Is that we got them in Marvel Legends form grey,
that was the worst of
and
things.
they retweaked it to white for the movie, and now we've got inaccurate MCU quantum rounds. If we had accurate quantum round suits, I would have brought multiples of those 2-packs to build the whole team, but instead I just brought the one because it was inaccurate essentially.
I can't reach them now, but I do have accurate quantum realm suits in the form of Lego because they did them in white.
Okay.
So I've got the whole team in white. So I have righted that wrong.
Bravo,
in a different action figure medium.
Bravo, Lego. Off the shelf says, I could see them doing 2-packs, half 616, half X-Men. Yeah, that'd be interesting. They're definitely going to play that game where they give you desired characters packed in with maybe not so exciting characters. Like, it isn't the way we want it to purchase them, but I understand from their perspective that's what they got to do sometimes. So yeah, we're going to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully we just get some good Marvel Legends. But let's get into our picks then. So me and Jay have both picked 5 each. So we're sort of counting down from our top 5 to our number 1. So there's going to be 10 picks overall, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for both me and Jay, okay? And I'm just going to, because Rich isn't here anymore, don't tell him, Jay. Don't tell him. Some honourable fucking mentions, all right? Is he watching? I don't even know if he's watching. Shout out, Rich. He's not been well, so I hope you get well soon, Rich. But this won't make you feel better because here's some honourable mentions. So I just thought I'd throw up some stuff that I would like from the MCU, but didn't make my top 5. So we've got Heimdall in his sort of more traditional gold armour from those early Thor movies. We do have Heimdall, how he appeared in Infinity War, but not as how he appeared in the Thor movies. So I would like a more updated sort of gold armour.
I forgot we didn't have that. We don't, do we? How have we not got that?
Yeah, so we have
Hasbro, come on.
Yeah, we have the Heimdall from Infinity War and from Ragnarok, but not from the early movies, and that's a solid armor for Idris Elba, so I'd like that. Also, like I mentioned, characters that are not exactly toyetic, let's be honest, it would just be another guy in a suit, but it's about character representation, and Hank Pym would absolutely be worthy of having some figure representation on the shelf. We've got Lewis, like Ant-Man's pal, but we don't have the original Ant-Man Hank Pym. So my idea for this is either give us a Janet and Hank Pym 2-pack, or just give us Hank and then give us like a tiny Ant-Man and Wasp. Do you know, because we don't really have many of the tiny versions of MCU Ant-Man and Wasp. I know we do have a tiny Ant-Man from that came packed in somewhere from ages ago. But yeah, so give us Hank Pym with a tiny Ant-Man and Wasp that you could just put on the shelf. I think that would be a nice touch and it'd be a more fun way to release Hank Pym. We've got Malekith from Thor, The Dark World. Now, again, I know a lot of people don't like The Dark World, but he was the big bad of that movie. So if you want to complete a villain shelf, you sort of need Malekith on the shelf. So he is a dark elf. He would make a creepy looking action figure. So I think Malekith would be another good pick. Yeah. Werewolf by Night. Now, we do have one Werewolf by Night Marvel Legend, and it's Man-Thing. So I would like the actual character from that short movie with Werewolf by Night. And I want the colour version, not the black and white version. I don't want a random black and white Marvel Legend amongst my MCU display. It wouldn't make sense. It needs to be on the same aesthetic as the current MCU I'm building, so it needs to be the colour version. I know it would be fun to have a black and white version because it matches the sort of more noir style of the movie.
He's a grumpy git, isn't he? He's a grumpy git.
There was a colour version of the movie as well, so I want the colour version. I'll get Jay's thoughts in a second, and then we get Foggy and Karen Page. I love the Daredevil movies. What am I talking about? The Daredevil show from Netflix. And again, the Netflix shows were better than Born Again, but I'm hoping Born Again gets better into season 2. And Foggy Nelson and Karen Page are big parts of the Netflix Daredevil world. We've got Punisher, we've got Claire, we've got Jessica Jones, we've got a couple of versions of Daredevil now in both Matt Murdock form because he appeared in Spider-Man. So again, boring action figures, I give you that. Not challenging anybody with that. These would be pretty boring action figures, but for me, if I'm building a world, I want this character representation. Jay, is there anybody from my honourable mentions here that you would actually buy and think would be a good idea to add to the Marvel Legends line?
Yes, it would be any of these sort of dark elves from the Thor film, the second Thor movie, because it has been very much underrepresented for, goodness sake, we're getting older now. I'm trying to think, that was probably 2013 or something, so it's probably a good 13 years ago. We've not had. I don't like it when we don't get villains from films,
especially the big bad.
Which you may see with some of the.
Like, he was the big bad.
This is a key that something like the SH Figure Arts, your Mayfex, they'll do your main characters. You can get a nice import version, but they don't ever hardly do the villains. We do occasionally get them, but. Yeah, so villains is definitely one I would like. Heimdall, I actually thought I completely forgot we didn't have. So yeah, that is a very good shout, and I would not say no to Karen Page.
Yeah, shout out Kurt K in the chat. So I'd be amiss to say of an MCU stick, because Kurt is like the stick advocate. So yeah, give me a stick. We've got Alexa.
He's let you down there, Kurt. He's given you Foggy, he's given you Karen, and he's just got rid of stick. like he doesn't even count.
I'm sorry, Kurt, forgive me. But we do have Elektra. Like I said, we've got a lot of the supporting cast of Daredevil. Punisher, Elektra, Claire, the night nurse. We've got Kingpin now. Do you know, like, we've got the other Defenders. We've got a Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
So Foggy and Karen Page, even in civilian form, would be a nice sort of world-building element to that shelf. And, of course, Stick as well for Kurt. So there you go. Honourable mention for Stick. Shout out Kurt. Where the hell is Stick here? He's not happy. So anyway, let's get into our top 5, right? And Jay, you're going to start us off. Your number 5 is...
Housekeeping here from the original Doctor Strange movie. So I've just said I do not like it when we have villains that are missing. And he was a key villain to the first Doctor Strange film.
Big bad.
And he's been missing. We don't have him in comic book form. We do not have him in MCU form. So there's no stand-ins that can be going on. But the Mads Mikkelsen in the MCU outfit, I think, would be a really cool figure with the sort of bleeding dark dimension eyes that are going on. Give me a Dormammu head builder figure piece or something to go with him or something if we want to really fancy him up. But he's been missing for so long. Yeah, maybe clearly not a top MCU villain, but one that has just been sorely missing since that first Doctor Strange movie that I quite enjoyed. So yeah, Caecilius for me, and I had to even try and spell it last night when I tried to send down the message over Caecilius. How on earth do you spell that?
Yeah, Google's your friend. So yeah, Caecilius is a great choice because, like we keep saying, like you may not like them in the movie, but if they're the big bad of a film, you sort of want that represented in a display in a world that we're recreating that MCU in plastic. You want the big bads, and Caecilius would be that big bad of the first Doctor Strange movie. And the first Doctor Strange film is good. Like, that is a good movie. So yeah, Caecilius would be good as well with some like purpley. Do you know like the same effects that we get with Wong and Doctor Strange, but the purple versions for Caecilius always looks a little bit more dynamic and fun on display as well. You could get a couple of head sculpts as his face is slowly decaying, essentially. You can get him, he steals the book, doesn't he, or something like that, so you could get that as an accessory. Again, the Doctor Strange characters, I think, are a good pick for those more fun, mystical effects on display, if they're done correctly, of course. So, Jay, for my 5th pick, I actually got inspired by your pick and thought I'd stay in this particular world. Can you take a guess on what mine would be?
Well, I think I'm going to go with Home Dude's channel membership token here that says, now, where the F is the ancient one, preposterous, Boulder Dash.
Don't
the
you
ancient
worry.
one has to be coming up. There you go.
Don't you worry, Home Dude. Me and Home Dude, we rehearsed this. We've been rehearsing this all week, Home Dude. That was great timing, Home Dude. Yes, thank you very much for the channel membership token, Home Dude. We're on the same page. Don't you worry. When I seen Caecilius, I was like, hang on a minute. We need the ancient one. She appeared in Endgame as well. Do you know, like, she was the person who gave Bruce Banner the Time Stone in Endgame, so Tony could so Hulk could click his fingers, bring everyone back. So yeah, the Ancient One, I reckon, again, another character. She could come, do you know, like with the mystical portal that we got with the variant Doctor Strange, like that, like you could reissue that with her, because I've put mine on my roof for Deadpool and Wolverine, but I want more of them, and I don't want to buy.
I've got a Wong in mine.
Well, the thing is, we've only ever got that effect piece once with a variant Doctor Strange. It wasn't even like the main look for Doctor Strange. So I don't think anybody out there wants to army build variant Doctor Stranges to have multiple portals from the MCU.
They reused it in the comics, didn't they? In that 5-pack of X-Men. Yeah, it was Zero.
They reused it for Zero and Green. But my point is, they need to reissue it again for the MCU. Because just think, those portals are now iconic in cinematic history because of that scene in Endgame where they all come out of the portals. And Legends literally have one sculpted up, and they've given it us once in the MCU. So here's an excuse to re-release it, people.
Lego one, there you go.
Oh, there you go, yeah. So the Ancient One is a good excuse to re-release that portal, as well as filling a big gap from that Infinity Saga within the Doctor Strange universe. We've got Wong, we've got Doctor Strange. Let's complete that trifecta with the Ancient One. So there you go, Ancient One. And maybe, again, with these characters, you never know if there's issues with likeness rights or anything like that. So again, maybe that's the reason we haven't got a Tilda Swinton action figure. But an Ancient One would be pretty good. So there you go. There's both Doctor Strange picks for 5. So I've tried to bat off.
There we go.
Jay's pick, yeah.
Like, see some hits or misses in the chat. Let's see how you feel about these random picks. I can see some lots of conversation occurring.
Yeah, so again, I always say the MCU always is I have no idea why it's always such a controversial topic. People feel like they need to sit on either side of the fence and be like, yay MCU or boo MCU. Look, you're allowed to like both. Do you know, like, if you want to collect both, you're allowed to. If you don't want to collect MCU, you're allowed to. Do you know, like, there are no rules. But
well, there is one rule. There is one rule.
Go on.
You're not allowed to mix it on the same shelf.
That's true.
Let's not have comic and MCU on the same shelf.
That's true.
Let's not do that.
Don't cross the streams, people. Right? The Ghostbusters have taught us that. Dan has this one for me, Jay. Sorry, yeah, we're not doing a traditional verses, but yeah, Ancient One I think outranks Cassilius in her importance with the MCU.
He's breaking me in slowly, people. Yeah. We're doing it together to start with.
Yeah, this is a team effort. Okay, so Jay's number 4 is a little bit bigger than this one. It's Galactus.
Oh. This will be a controversial one, but I want the big fella. So, Galactus. Now, he may have had a little accident in the Fantastic Four film. He may have tripped. Now, he's very tall. He's going to be unbalanced. He's going to trip. Well, perfect story writing, people. Perfect story writing. Forget that bit. Galactus, people. We need a Galactus. There's so many people that have missed out on the HasLab version that would probably like a version here from the MCU. They may be able to cross in. I wouldn't cross it over, but if you want to cross the streams, you can. But I would like a MCU Galactus because, I say, Fantastic Four is the thing that got me back into MCU figures. And I'd like a big, chunky Galactus. I'd have to redo the whole display to fit him in. It's so similar to the comic book design. It's great to finally see him on the screen. That was my pure excitement. And the missus was seeing my excitement when I finally got to see him on the screen. Because all those years ago, they built up Galactus. We had him in the film. And what was he?
A cloud.
He was a floating bloody space cloud. A floating space cloud. They have finally righted that wrong and got a comic accurate looking Galactus in an MCU film. So that was enough for me to get excited. Didn't have the greatest ending, but he looked pretty cool. I think people would want him as a made to order. Hot Toys are doing one, but they're making it out of like the rubbery material to try and keep the price down. So you could bodge that in, but I would like an official Galactus. I could then rearrange behind me, could have a Sentinel one side, MCU Galactus that side, and I think it'd be a really cool toy.
It would have to be the same scale as the comic one, right? It would have to be on par. No?
Yeah. But then it would come into HasLab territory, so they might have to shrink it down a little. But I would like it that size personally.
You can't do a Galactus and not do it at that scale now. Like, they've set the precedent for Galactus. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Like, for the record, I liked his look in the MCU. Like, it looked like comic Galactus, and at the end of the day, that's what we want from the MCU, like a true comic representation, but brought into live action. I was just disappointed that the Eater of Planets, the big conquering Galactus, lost because he got tripped into a portal. Like, come on, that killed the movie for me. But it otherwise looked great. And there was rumors, Jay, I don't know if you remember, but on those David Displays rumors and those Reddit rumors, there was a made-to-order Galactus. And it sort of caught fire as well when Emily was talking at Hasbro about being able to reuse HasLab elements like they have with things in the G.I. Joe line, etc. So could they retool that? Like, I'll give you a new head?
Some texture. It just needs texturing, doesn't it, really? If they can add some texture to the mold, which I suppose you could add to a mold. You couldn't probably take away from a mold, but you could add some texturing into a mold.
Yeah, you can add texture layers to it.
Because it's pretty much the same. Needs a new head and a bit of texturing, a darker colour tone, and
don't need the lights.
Maybe you could then reuse it. Get them out.
It would be good. It would
get £100 off the price.
Yeah, it would be a good. It would look like an impressive Marvel legend, and technically he is now in the MCU. Like, he may be from a different universe or whatever the story is, but he is now the MCU's Galactus for now. And if Secret Wars does go into a Secret Wars comic story, then Galactus was a big part of that as well. So will we see Galactus again in the MCU? Maybe.
Maybe. I'm just looking on Rotten Tomatoes in the background. 90% the fans rate this, and 86% for the critics. So that's got to be one of the highest rated Marvel movies since Endgame, surely. So the world must be on my side here and want the Galactus. Anybody out there?
I'm a sucker for Marvel Legends, as you know. So if they did an MCU Galactus, it's not on the top of my list, but I would buy it because it's an accurate representation of a character that appeared in the film, and it's just a big display piece for sure. I don't know where I'd put him because I'd have no space, but that's a problem for another day. But Galactus, I understand why you picked him, but it would need to be done correctly. Like, they've set the bar now for Galactus. If they did it underscaled, it wouldn't look as impressive. It would look like his little brother, and we don't really want that on the shelf. So if they're going to do it properly, but get the money ready, because it won't be a cheap one either. Made to order Galactus, suggests Justin. I'm all in. I do think people might appreciate a second opportunity to get a Galactus, like if they did it made to order, because not a lot of people got the well, lots of people did get the HasLab, but there's always collectors jumping in and out, and the Galactus is one that still holds a pretty penny on the aftermarket, like still over £500. Do you know, like, so if they made a £300 one made to order, maybe that would tempt people to get that instead, and then use the MCU Galactus as a comic stand-in because the designs are so similar. Again, everyone creates their own rules on their display. I wouldn't do crazy stuff like that.
They may have missed their mark, because they probably should have done it when the movie came out, as maybe the rumours were suggesting there. But I would like it in the collection, definitely.
Okay, well, again, don't disputing it. It would make a good action figure. But I thought I'd go somewhere a little bit different for this. Now, Jay, you said that the ratings were really high for this MCU movie. Well, I would challenge that by saying the character that I have chosen comes from a movie that has probably an even higher rating for the MCU post-Endgame. Can you think where I'm going?
Shang-Chi?
That was... No. That's not got a higher rating.
That was a high rating. Yeah, that was in the night. That was one of the highest. I thought that was the highest.
Rotten. All right. Where do you check it? Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 92%.
So what did you say Fantastic Four was?
It was 91, I think, for fans. 86 for critics.
Okay. Right. Remember those numbers, because I'm gonna have a look for my film.
Shang-Chi has a rating of 98% from the fans and 92% from the critics. Again, take these with a pinch of salt, but
anyone
at
in the
least
chat
something to go by.
Anyone in the chat guess mine? All right, I'm going to Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, okay, so mine has an 82 critics and a 94 audience.
Okay.
Do you know what film it is?
So it's going to have to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's probably the only other film I've enjoyed since Endgame.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It is.
Absolutely is. Yeah, Guardians. I thought it was one of the highest ranked movies post Endgame. It deservedly so. I do really like this movie, and we did get quite a lot of figures for it. We got the deluxe group. We got a lot of the team in their sort of comic inspired uniforms. We didn't get Gamora, but we do have MCU Gamoras, so you can forgive that. But like we keep saying, sometimes they just miss the big bad of the movie, and High Evolutionary was the big bad of this movie, really, because the story was a Rocket-centric story, and High Evolutionary was a part of that. He was the creator, essentially, of Rocket. So I've put a caveat with this, Jay, right? I'm going to say a deluxe High Evolutionary, because the character design is fairly simple, but it's deluxe because you pack in the four Rocket friends. So you Baby Rocket, Leah, Teeths, or whatever it is. So I know they'd be smaller and they probably don't need a lot of articulation, but again, just to have them on the shelf, I think would be a fun pack-in for the High Evolutionary. So yeah, my pick would be High Evolutionary with the caveat he comes with Rocket's friends as little accessories. Would you buy High Evolutionary?
I would definitely buy High Evolutionary. Yes, he would have. He could have potentially been on my list as well, actually, if I'd remembered, because that is another key villain that we actually need, and a really good villain as well, especially when the face kind of comes off. So it's quite a crazy design. Definitely one of the better films post Endgame is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I hated Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Couldn't stand that film at all. Really liked the first Guardians, and then really liked the third one. So another key character, and those little cute animals. Again, I'm surprised we never got those as little pack-ins. Yeah. Previously, again, I guess the unique tooling is probably why we didn't get them, but they could be little slugs.
We did get a baby raccoon. He came with the deluxe group, but there were loads of baby raccoons at the end of the movie.
Because they went for Cosmo, didn't they? If I remember, as a builder figure
Cosmo builder figure
from that wave. Yeah, we should have. We need a high evolutionary.
They're on my shelf right there. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Jay. I think my order for the Guardians of the Galaxy films are 1, 3, 2. One's one of my favourite MCU movies. 3 was better than 2. So yeah, 1, 3, 2. And I liked how it was a Rocket story. Like the whole Guardians thing led to Rocket. And apparently we all speak Groot now as well. Apparently that was the case all along. And are any of those characters going to turn up in like Doomsday and Secret Wars? Do you know, technically there's a new Guardians team. The new Guardians team looked pretty shit, to be fair, though. Like it didn't look like an exciting team.
Oh, I thought we'd finally done with Chris Pratt. I thought we got rid of Chris Pratt, and then that blimmin' post-credit scene.
I like Chris Pratt.
He will return. I was like, oh, he gets on my tits. He gets everywhere. He's in Jurassic Park. He's in Marvel.
You don't like. No, yes. He plays Star-Lord really well. Like that is his role.
He still irritated me from Infinity War. Like, just kill Gamora. Just do it. Look, you've ballsed it up, and now Scarlett Johansson is dead because of you.
He did.
I have lost Black Widow from the MCU.
To be fair,
shocking behaviour.
You can reel it back to that moment where they're trying to get the glove off Thanos, and he punches Thanos, doesn't he, in anger when he finds out Gamora's dead. Yeah. And Spider-Man nearly had the gauntlet off him. So I guess it is Star-Lord's fault that Iron Man's dead and Black Widow's dead.
It's all his fault. Yeah, okay. And it's irritated me for many a year ever since that happened. But I suppose that is what they wanted me to feel. So well done, directors. You've made me feel how you wanted.
Maybe I dislike Star-Lord.
You've turned me on Chris Pratt. Yeah.
So there we go. So there's my fourth pick. It is the High Evolutionary, with the caveat he comes with Rocket's friends because he was a missing piece from Guardians 3. Number 3, Jay.
Number 3. Wow. We have this figure technically, but it's crap. So I still have. This is one of the figures I did keep from way back in. It wasn't even in standard Marvel Legends packaging, if I remember the version that I'd actually got. It was in like a little Walmart packaging. Like it's tiny. There he is. He's absolutely tiny. Years before the face printing tech. Loki is like I don't know, if you discount Thanos, Loki's like the most important villain through the first phase of the MCU. He's all over the thing. And we've got this. It's how on earth have they not updated this since 2012? I think this came out. So it's been 14 years. We've had updates of pretty much all the characters. We must have had multiple versions of them all re-released, and we've never. How is this costume not got a proper update? He reappears in the thing in Endgame. Yeah. How? I just don't understand how we have not got a decent Loki. I saw somebody in the chat earlier mention about like the full God version of Loki from the end of season 2. Yeah. That would be a cool one to have as well. I would like that one, but I want this more. A classic Loki. I suppose I say classic, but it's getting that way now. It's been that many years. A classic Loki from the MCU. Please. Look, this is just crazy we don't have this.
Avengers will go down as one of the best superhero movies, like for culturally and like the impact and like what it led to, what it sort of started that chain reaction of the MCU, because no one really understood what the MCU was until we got to Avengers, and they all come together and it made sense. Like I remember going to the cinema with that and Amanda and like realizing like we've been watching like an episodic TV show this whole time, but in movie form. Do you know, like, but you didn't realise that's what was happening until they all come together in Avengers. So Avengers would always be one of my favourite movies, and Loki was a big part of that. And again, Tom Hiddleston plays this role so well. That's why they just keep bringing him back. Like, how many times has he died in the MCU? But they find a reason to bring Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. And technically, the Loki in the MCU now is the Loki from that alternative timeline that stole the Cosmic Cube in Endgame. The original Loki, again, passed away in Infinity War. So I thought, I agree with you, like, this is like an iconic look for Loki from that first Avengers movie. It deserves a better version. They had opportunities in the Infinity Saga or even in the 10th anniversary line to redo it, and they never did. This is a fine placeholder. Like, it's a fine placeholder because it's a pretty accurate costume, but Legends can do a better job now, like with this for sure. So this is fine as a placeholder. because they've got to get to redoing him at some point. And I put those 2 heads there, Jay, as well, as a little pack in, because at the end of Avengers and at the end of Endgame, you see him with that mask on, like the muzzle essentially that Thor puts him on. So I thought that would be a fun interchangeable head that you could have with Loki. And now soft goods cape as well.
The Hot Toy figure comes with that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So
then, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, soft goods capes now as well. We know Legends are moving in that direction, so you could do that with this.
It's made me think of something there randomly off my thought. Maximum line. Are we ever going to get a maximum line MCU figure, or is that purely going to be a comic book branding? Because this could be a potential for a maximum proper bendy wire soft goods cape, a really elaborate metallic paint outfit, interchangeable heads and things. Don't know. I
wouldn't be against it. I'd be very curious to see how it was packed out, but not against it at all. I like this is probably my mind's eye of Loki. I know he's had many different looks in the MCU, but if you picture Loki in your head, he looks like this. So yeah, let's get a better version. This is again 2012, probably 2011. So this figure's a little outdated now. Fine placeholder, but we can do better. And that's sort of the story of a lot of these MCU characters, is that the good films were made in a time where the figures weren't amazing, and they could do a better job now. So some of the worst MCU films have some of the better figure representation. I use Eternals as an example. You may hate Eternals, and those figures may be boring, but they are pretty accurate representations of the source material. So that means they're a good figure based off a shit movie. So you don't like the figure, but technically it's a good figure based off its intended purpose. Does that make sense, DA? Because no one's going to agree with me, but if the movie was good, people would like those figures more. It's because the movie...
We are programmed to hate them because the movie is terrible.
Yes.
That's what you're
anyway, I'm not going to try and change anyone's mind on that one, because I'd be fucking digging myself a hole on that. But anyway, Loki's a good choice. So my number 3 is the Chitauri. So I was inspired by your Loki pick, and I thought, okay, Avengers, who are we missing? And these are the fodder villains. Now, I'm surprised we have never got these in the Marvel Legends line, because we've even now got the Outriders 2-pack. Now, granted, that 2-pack wasn't very popular, but it was only not popular because of the price. It was like a £70 2-pack, and people didn't want to pay £70 for some fodder army builders. But if you actually got those figures, they were really good. But people were put off, rightly so, for the price. So, again, not challenging anybody for that. Yeah. But
as soon as they hit half price, I bought a set of them.
And they're good figures.
One's right by my portal.
Yeah, I bought 2 sets at full price, annoyingly, but I love like filling. Do you know when you're building a display, like I like filling those gaps on a villain shelf with the army builders, with the fodder villains, and it looks like a packed army. And just think, in Avengers, in Infinity War, in Endgame, we've seen armies and hordes of these villains, whether it was Outriders in Infinity War, and then in Avengers, and in Endgame, we've seen both Chitauri and the Outriders together. So we need some MCU, like Marvel Legends scale Chitauri. We did get some in the Marvel Select line, but we're a little out of scale. Now, granted, they are a little bit taller in the movie anyway, but their articulation was pretty poor. They came with like a bridge piece, so I think I've got a couple of those on the display, like right at the back.
I've got a bridge. I've got a bridge somewhere.
Right at the back.
From one of them.
But if they made a good army builder Chitauri 2-pack with multiple heads, different weapons, because all of them had different guns. Like some of them had spears, some of them had blasters. There's even a Marvel short where a couple finds a blaster, don't they, or something like that. There's a Marvel short on Disney Plus with it. Yeah. So if we're gonna get an updated Loki, which I think is a great choice, then give me some Chitauri so I can army build to my heart content and just have a shelf packed. Imagine Loki front and center, and then you've got an army of Chitauri around him as a representation from that first Avengers movie. So yeah, Chitauri, I think we've got the Outriders. Now do a Chitauri 2-pack. Don't do them single packed. Do it a 2-pack. Or actually, maybe do it single pack, because then you'll bring the price down and it may encourage people to get on board, because the 2-pack price was a bit outrageous. So maybe just make a better valued 2-pack. That would be a good start, okay? So Chitauri is something I would like. Would you buy any Chitauri if they did a good job at a good price?
I would. Back in my MCU peak days, I did buy the Marvel Select Chitauri there because I've got a bridge somewhere, probably up in the box in the loft. It didn't really move particularly well. You couldn't really bend it over and get a decent sort of crouching pose you kind of need with it. But yeah, I definitely buy a Chitauri. It's one of the reasons, again, I'd switch to Lego collecting because I got an Avengers tower with Loki, Chitauri. They're all over the thing. So you have to change collecting mediums, and yes, Hasbro can step it up and give you some Chitauri here. But surely they're going to do this as the next 2-pack. But it's probably been 18 months or so since the other 2-packs. So maybe they're off 2-packs now.
Yeah, I thought that Outriders 2-pack was a sort of a sign of things to come. And I thought, well, if they're doing there's no way you have a conversation about making the Outriders 2-pack without also talking about the Chitauri. So I thought we would also get a Chitauri 2-pack, but so far not to be. So again, I understand there's probably a very small margin of Marvel Legends collectors that this would even intrigue, but I do think the people that it would intrigue would be very happy with it. So there you go. There's number 2. There's number 3. So let's get into Jay's number 2, but a caveat with our second pick because they're sort of combined with this one. So it'll make sense in a minute. So Jay's second pick is from Iron Man 2, and I'm sure everybody is thinking about who's missing from Iron Man 2. We're going to get there, okay? So let's just take a breath on this one first. Jay, Iron Man Mark 5.
Before we get there, we need to solve this problem. We need the Iron Man Mark 5 problem, because this is a problem. Because there's some smaller version in the movie line, I think,
Iron Man 3,
but there's never been an actual sort of Iron Man 2 Mark 5 Iron Man, the kind of the Silver Centurion armor. It's a great scene. It's a great film. He's in the Grand Prix. He's got the little suitcase it comes out of. You could have versions of this. You could have the actual suit attaching versions that go on. It needs to be like a builder pack. So hold on, we can have Tony Stark in like a racing suit.
Yeah.
We can have the full-on Mark 5 and a transforming suit going on attachment thing, suitcase. It's a great look. It's one of my favorite comic book armors is the Silver Centurion, the silver and the red. So we've got it multiple times in the comic book versions now, from the single release to the version in the West Coast 5-pack. I think it's in the
it's inspired by the color palette of the Silver Centurion. Yeah.
So we need this. This has been missing for. They've done so many. I can't even count how many Iron Man armors they've done in modern times. But I don't get how we don't have this one. It makes no sense to me. Iron Man 2 is a very underrepresented movie. And again, it was from a time where the films were good, but as you just said, the figures weren't. Yeah. So they need to revisit this with some of these programs. So yeah, Mark 5 has to be.
Yeah, it was back when Disney was acquiring Marvel. Like that's how it went. Because just think the first Iron Man and Hulk and stuff were made pre-Disney. So it was like when Iron Man 2 came about, it was I think it was around about that time negotiations were happening or something, and then Toy Biz was moving to Marvel at Hasbro, and it was a proper weird time. So the figures were never really consistent, and we do have this armor in like a line that predates Marvel Legends. It's not technically Marvel Legends. It's also a little bit out of scale, but it can be fudged into a display. So it is crazy that within the time since then, which has been decade plus, we've never had, we've got the hot rod armor that appeared in the background of a scene. We've got the gold armor that appeared in the House Party Protocol. We have got armors represented in the Marvel Legends line that were literally in the background of scenes. This is like the key moment, like a key scene where he battles he who we're about to name in it, and it's like the suitcase as well, like the briefcase like pops open, like it's just a cool scene. Like this is genuinely one of my favorite looking armors, and I brought the SH Figure Arts version just to have it represented in the collection. Yeah, so I've
done something very stupid during this segment. I've just gone down to the second monitor and I've just Googled, is there a hot toy? And there is. It's currently up for order. And it's the version where the suit comes on. So
send me the link. Let's have a look.
Any button.
Send me the link. Send me the link on Instagram and I'll open it up. I'm curious what you're looking at.
Instagram. Oh my goodness me. This is a terrible idea. So this is what happens, Hasbro, when you do not make figures.
Don't do it.
So
don't do it, Jay.
I will not do it. The PayPal credit will stay. It will stay in there. But my goodness me, why have they done that? Come on, Hasbro, step it up. You've got to save me some money. Link has been sent.
All right, I want to see what Jay's looking at.
Dan will be heading over to SideshowCollectibles.com to make his first Hot Toys purchase.
No, I'm not buying a Hot Toy. I just wanted to see what you were looking at. So there we go. So yeah, we could get a Marvel Legend that has like different pieces on. His hair's a bit weird, isn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, it's not their greatest likeness, Robert Downey Jr. for that one. But,
don't buy. He looks like he's from the Beatles. Like, nah, don't buy. That's not accurate. Chat, are we wrong? Is that an accurate looking Tony Stark from this scene? Like, yeah, don't buy it for that crappy hair alone, Jay. That would bug me. But Iron Man Mark V is absolutely a design we need in the Marvel Legends line. But, of course, we don't talk about the Mark V without mentioning Whiplash. Of course, we need Whiplash in the Marvel Legends line from Iron Man 2, another villain from the movies that we have not got in action figure form. Now, there are a lot of rumours out there, and whether or not there's any truth to that, I guess we don't know. But the rumour is, the reason we haven't got a Whiplash is because there's no likeness rights to Mickey Rourke. Apparently he fell out with the studio because they cut loads of scenes and all of his input from the movie they sort of cut out. So he fell out of them, and like there's no likeness rights for Mickey Rourke, and he refuses to do anything with Marvel. But that made me think, okay, fair enough. You might not be able to get this version of Whiplash, which is like his sort of basic look before he gets arrested. This is how he battled Iron Man in the Mark V armour. However, at the end of the movie, he battles both War Machine and Iron Man in a full-on suit with a helmet. Why have we not got this? No likeness rights involved at all. Like, they have gave us characters like Mysterio with no unmasked head. We have got the Vulture with no unmasked head. Both of those characters were able to get released because the helmets and the character design covered the likeness rights that would otherwise be an issue. So why haven't we got Whiplash from the end of Iron Man 2 with the helmet on, covering the likeness rights as a representation of that character? He still has the big whips. It would still be a really good, like, we've got the Ironmonger. This would be a great counterpiece. It doesn't need to be as big as the Ironmonger. So, yeah, odd. Very, very odd that we have never got a Whiplash, even if those rumours are true about the likeness rights. Jay, we've got to be right. We need this.
Yeah, as I say, if I didn't pick Tony, I would have picked Whiplash. Unfortunately, I already cracked on this hot toy many a year ago to already get, because they did do the version of Whiplash that we'd never done. I don't get it. I get why we don't have the full-on Mickey Rourke version, but again, the same as you, I do not understand why we don't have the full-on armoured up mode, because, as you say, there would be no likeness rights issues there at all. And yes, somebody, because Mickey Rourke's annoyed them, they just don't fancy doing the character at all. So...
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a shame. It's just for me, like, again, when we sit back and look at our collection, there's always going to be gaps. And, like, I think Whiplash is just one of those gaps. So, again, another big bad. So this is a common theme here. Some of the big bads of these movies do not get made, which is odd, because you'd always think you'd make the hero and the bad guy. So, because if you're playing with toys, you've got someone to fight, you've got the hero and the villain. But I guess with Marvel Legends, they don't think that way. They just... Again, we don't know behind the scenes what they can and don't have access to. Sometimes things are pushed on them by the licensor by saying, look, make these characters, ignore that one. So we blame Hasbro, and sometimes it's not even Hasbro's fault, it's the licensor. But on this occasion, I'm just curious what the actual reasons are. Is there a reason why we've never got Whiplash? Because he is needed. He's a big gap in the MCU. But that is not our number one. Me and Jay have both got our own individual number one. So, Jay, I'm throwing it to you first. Your number one, your current, most wanted MCU Marvel Legend is...
The Abomination from the 2008 The Incredible Hulk film with Ed Norton and, of course, Tim Roth playing the Abomination. This has driven me mad not having this figure since 2008. And that was 18 years ago by my quick maths. Now, we did have like a smaller scale line for the movie. I did buy that very small scale Abomination with hardly any articulation, just flops about, terrible little thing from the movie, because I like Abomination. It's a very, very weird design of Abomination with the rib cage very protruding out the front there. He's got the spike on the back. It's the comic book design is much better, but it's such a unique design for this film. That's why you can't even fudge in a comic book version. Then they did do a more comic-y book version later on in the She-Hulk TV show, but I don't like that one.
Yeah,
That's
Shang-Chi
just
as well.
I don't like that one. Yeah, so it's two. That's two comic booky. It's not the MCU one I wanted. So it's the other one I want, the 2008 version from the Ed Norton film. How on earth has this not been done? I tell you why. It's because it's a massive, unique sculpt. Is why it's not been done. But Dwight, if you're listening, please just make this figure. It's been nearly 20 for the 20th anniversary of this film in 2 years' time. I need this figure. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Dwight is not listening, so we'll have to get the message to him another way. But again, another big villain from a key Phase 1 movie that never got any Marvel Legend representation. Like Jay says, he was in the later movies brought back, and he was sort of turned into a bit of a joke in She-Hulk, which I didn't appreciate. Like, yeah. I didn't like that. I liked him. The Abomination should be he should be feared. Instead, he's went to rehab and whatever. So, yeah, I think this Abomination's a bit more menacing than the newer one for sure, and it would make an impressive, chunky action figure. Like, this is the type of stuff that is it Loose Collectibles that are doing right now with all those big bears and big wolves? Like, he's doing.
They have tempted me. I've been looking at their Sasquatch is literally due out very soon. That looks very.
They did a big hide as well that looks very similar to this character design with the big bulkiness too.
Huge. Yeah. A little bit expensive on eBay because I did look that up as well.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a good choice. Good choice. Big character from Phase 1, the second MCU movie, which Robert Downey Jr. does cameo in at the very end. People forget that, but Robert Downey Jr. is in there already planting those seeds. There's another character we need, Thunderbolt Ross. We never got him. I guess technically we do in Red Hulk form, even though that looks nothing like. I want William Hurt Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, like Thunderbolt. Like that's my mind's eye, not Harrison Ford. His Indiana Jones.
We need a comic book Thunderbolt Ross. We need an MCU Thunderbolt. We are severely lacking Hulkster. But I did randomly, when I went shopping this evening, walk into Smith's in the UK, and the new Abomination was on the shelf, which I was not expecting to see at a UK children's retailer quite early as well. Yeah,
I've not got mine yet, but I'll get one. I'll get one this coming week, I'm sure. Certain things I don't pre-order if I know they're going to be available. I've got a good eye for what I need to pre-order and not. But anyway, Abomination, good pick. Jay, can you guess what my number 1 is?
I'm gonna hope it's Ed Norton as the Hulk from that very film because I didn't mention him there.
No. Would you want an Ed Norton?
I would, yeah. I better not mention him just in case. But you need that.
That's
first
like having a Terrence Howard as like you can't have both Don Cheadle and Terrence. John, we don't even have a Don Cheadle in the MCU line. I've got a custom head sculpt, thankfully, but we don't have a Don Cheadle in the Legends line, let alone a Terrence Howard. So we can't have an Edward Norton on the same display as Mark Ruffalo. That'd just be weird.
I think it'd be perfect, son. Absolutely perfect. But if I had to guess where you're going to have to go MCU adjacent. You're clearly going to go for Sydney Sweeney from Madam Web.
I've still never seen Madam Web, by the way. That would be Rich's choice, I'm sure. No, I'm sort of cheating with my pick because, like I said, the Marvel Legends are getting better. Like, you can have a conversation about value and prices going up all day long. That's fair. It's a fair conversation to have because prices are going up, and does the value match that price? Again, that's a whole separate conversation. But in general terms, Legends are better than they were. All right, in its most simplest. Am I wrong in saying that, Jay? In its most basic form.
I think you're right. Now I might have a guess from the way you feed me in here.
So Legends now are better than they were. Okay, and like we mentioned earlier, that first Avengers movie is like the flame of the MCU. Of course, it took a couple of films to get there, but no one really understood what was happening until Avengers, because that was when all the movie characters came together and it clicked for everybody. Everyone went, oh, this is what's happening. So that first Avengers film is so important. And I think it's really important to represent that sort of core moment on the shelf in plastic, in like current Marvel Legend technology. Like pinless tech, good likenesses and head sculpts, the right accessories, good articulation for dynamic posing. Like, we need the Avengers as they appear in the first Avengers movie in like all newness. Like those two Captain Americas we've got in his classic outfit, I've still got the T-jointed legs from that Walmart line that this guy came in. Do you know what I mean? So Captain America in that stupid classic costume needs better articulation. We never got Hawkeye from this movie. I think did we? We got him in an Age of Ultron 4-pack, which was very similar. Same with Black Widow, but again, even those are outdated. We also got Mark Ruffalo for the first time in that pack. We still need a really good Hulk. We need an update on the Hulk. We've got a couple of Thors, but they're not the best articulation, and his cape's like a plastic fucking rock hard cape, which looks fine just standing there. But again, you want Thor. Again, soft goods capes coming into play now, a little bit more dynamic. So. Again, I'm throwing this against the wall. I'm going all out here. It's just a wish list, but an Avengers 1 box set with the key 6 Avengers. You'd buy it. That would sound like hotcakes, would it not? All of these characters in the best Marvel Legends currently has to offer, accurate to the movie. I'd display it all 6 standing there in a circle, just like that. Would you not?
Well, I think we can improve on this. I think we need to go. Let's not do a box set.
Yeah.
We can have a whole wave here because you've got 6 in a wave. We need to add Loki in that we've mentioned earlier. So there's your 7th, and we need a decent Nick Fury.
Let's do it.
I did see in the chat Phil Coulson there. I think somebody just mentioned. I've just seen out the corner of my eye. So let's have a build-a-figure of one of either Phil or Nick Fury, and let's do an Avengers anniversary wave, fully pinless. With it.
When's the anniversary? It's got to be like 2012,
it's
right?
2012. So still... 15 years. Next year will be 15 years.
Okay, so for that's... the 15th anniversary, you do an
summer program.
Yeah.
We're doing the job for them here.
Yeah. They love an anniversary at Hasbro. The first Avengers movie is like, it needs to be celebrated. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen, whether it be a box set or a wave. We need a better Nick Fury. We do have Nick Fury, Coulson, and Maria Hill in a 3-pack, but they're all outdated bodies and not very good. So yes, we absolutely need an updated Nick Fury. I'd take an updated Coulson. Granted, it would just be a guy in a pinless suit, but I would take it. It's still an upgrade. Some people... Everyone has their own bar in regards to how much of an upgrade it needs to be for them to spend the money to buy it again. My bar is pretty low. If you've got no pins, I'm buying you. You're an upgrade in my eyes. But again, I am very self-aware that I am in the minority for that one. But I cannot be in the minority. I've got to be in the majority for an Avengers 1 box set with the best Marvel Legends has to offer. I'm talking the best articulation, pinless tech, likeness, rights, head sculpts, multiple expressions, hands, weapons. Like, yeah, just make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. I think a 5 set might be a little bit too much because they don't really do multi-packs these days. But like you said, maybe a wave or a couple of 2-packs or something like that. 2 3-packs or 3 2-packs.
I think we've done it here. I think we have predicted next year's summer programs. We can lock it in on the 5th of March, 2026. We have locked in next year's summer program. Don't complain if we're wrong.
All right, I'm going to end this poll in the chat, Jay. So far, 63%. 63% are looking forward to Doomsday more than Spider-Man. But until we get a trailer for Spider-Man, I think when we get a trailer for Spider-Man, that might change people's minds because I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen in Spider-Man. Apparently, we're going to have a lot of fodder villains. Apparently, Boomerang and Tombstone and Tarantula, Scorpion. We still don't know who the big bad is either. Apparently, it's a female.
Want to see who Sadie Sink is playing. Quite like a bit of Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
So who is she playing?
So I'm going to start a new poll. And I'm going to say, which one would you buy? And give Jay a little taste of the versus situation, all right?
Versus.
So Avengers...
I sense this is not going to go very well if you're about to go the Tim Roth Abomination versus an Avengers box set.
Okay, do you want to swap
from
out? Okay.
$1 billion film.
Okay. Do you want to swap out your pick for something else? So I'll go for the Avengers
I will
box
do
set.
my... You can have the Avengers box set because that's 5 or 6 figures, and I'll have my entire list. So we'll have my entire list. You can have a Galactus, a Loki, a Mark V Iron Man.
You'll win
you can
this
have
now.
Facilius. I still think I
you'll
still
win this.
think the Avengers will probably tank this
You'll win
in
this.
the poll.
You'll win this. You'll win this. Here's a recap then. Let me scroll all the way back. Let's have a recap of all our picks, all right? Get involved in the poll. You can either pick my Avengers box set or all of Jay's picks. So we've got Cassidius, Angel. Also, for the record, regardless of them mine or Jay's picks, I genuinely would buy all of these in action figure form. They are all gaps within the MCU collection we currently have. And again, we're mainly talking post Doomsday, obviously, and mainly Infinity Saga, to be honest. So we've got Cassidius, Ancient One, Galactus from the recent Fantastic Four. That's the most recent character on this list. We've got Higher Than Lucery, again, post Secret Endgame for that one. We've got Loki from the first Avengers, some Chitauri from the first Avengers, but they also appear in multiple films after that as well. We've got Iron Man Mark V and Whiplash, both from Iron Man 2. And then we've got the Abomination Hulk and the Avengers box set. So there's now a poll in the chat. All of Jay's
I think
picks,
what is clear.
Yeah.
What is clear from today's stream is we have gone extremely heavy on literally named the entire cast of the first Avengers film, the entire cast of the second Iron Man film, and then I'll take the entire cast of the Hulk film. So it's those first 4 years of the MCU are somehow very underrepresented, or at least with bad figures.
Well, that makes sense, though, doesn't it? Because figures, like I said, the Marvel Legends line's got better in regards to aesthetics and all of that. So, like, of course, the earliest figures in the line from the earliest movies are going to be the poorest. So that's why they need to go backwards to do justice to those good early movies. So, yeah, that's what I say. John says none of the above, by the way. And for the record, I'm well aware there's a big portion of people that do not give a flying fuck about MCU figures, and that's okay as well, okay? But for the sake of conversation, have some fun. Click something in the poll, people, all right? Only 26 votes. People do not give a flying fuck, Jay, it seems. But I told you you'll win all of your picks. You got a Galactus in there. If you don't care about that Avengers film, then you just pick all of yours. You get Abomination, Galactus,
but if you don't care about that Avengers film, you don't care about the MCU. I would go on as him to say, because that is such an important film for the entire MCU. I'm going to say 100% of people that like the MCU like the first Avengers film.
Wow.
Anybody in the chat disagree?
It's very, very close. Cute Cool. Cute Cool says, Eternia from the movie that shall not be named, Eternity.
Dan, give us your review.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I
do not even want to talk. It makes me angry. Like when I even start, like that Cute Cool is just, it's just like opened a floodgates into my head, and it makes me angry. That film nearly single-handedly turned the whole MCU into a joke. Like, that film needs to be in Doomsday. Someone needs to fucking click their fingers with an Infinity Gauntlet and go, "Oh, that's disappeared. That never happened." Someone needs to retcon fucking Love and Thunder. Like, it makes me angry that exists in the MCU because it's such a bad movie. It nearly ruins the character of Thor. Don't get me started.
I can't stand that film either. But I'm thinking Avengers Doomsday will retcon some of the most modern MCU films, or at least do something to fix what has happened. Surely. They've got to win these fan backs, make $2 billion.
Yeah, when they get to Secret Wars is going to be their restart. They're at that stage now. The MCU is going to be over 20 years old. They need to restart it and recast and whatever. So the Secret Wars, at the end of Secret Wars, they will reset the universe. Some characters will remain in their roles and other characters will be reset. Maybe new cast members or rolled off into the sunset. Who knows? But something's got to happen. Let me read some comments in the chat then. So far, all of your picks are winning over the Avengers box set, which I thought they would.
Very close.
Z-Man says, I disagree, Jay. I hate the Avengers. I hate the Avengers 1, but I get its impact. Z-Man hates the Avengers 1. What is wrong with this guy?
He's streaming during Legends of Liquor. What? Z-Man, we have to see some explanation of this.
What?
Remember the moment of going to that cinema, watching it in 3D? I was getting goosebumps during that film. Goosebumps, people.
Avengers 1 is like just a fun popcorn superhero movie. Like like it's just a fun film. Like it's a very rewatchable movie as well. Like I've got no hate on the first Avengers film. Like I just like it. I like it a lot. What is your MCU sort of top three?
Top three. I did a stream on that once. I ranked the entire.
Yeah,
I ranked the entire thing.
With Chief Monkey Kiara, right? Kiara's in it too.
I did. Yes, I try to remember. So number one is Infinity War. Number one is Infinity War. I can't remember what I put as my second and third. So I still like Winter Soldier. That has to be up there in top three-ish. And as a big Spider-Man fan, I enjoyed No Way Home quite a lot. So I put that up there as well.
Yeah, I think Infinity War's up there for me
Maybe
as well.
a bit nostalgia-y for me is why I've put it up there, but
I think Infinity War is currently my favourite Avengers movie, but you don't get to Infinity War without like the first Avengers and stuff like that. So first Avengers I think is in my top 5, but my top 3 is probably Infinity War. I do really like Winter Soldier. I know that's the easy thing to say because everyone's like that's the popular one, but it is also a great film. Like I love that sort of more sort of grounded. I know it's not grounded essentially, let's be honest. It's about heady characters killing them, but you know what I mean, like because it's not reliant on like superpowers and magic and aliens. It's a bit more grounded in espionage. I like the Winter Soldier. I like the casting. I like Anthony Mackie as Falcon. I like Scarlett Johansson. She never had a Phase 1 movie, did she? So she appeared in Iron Man 2 and then in Captain America 2, essentially. So, yeah, I like Secret Wars. So yeah, maybe Avengers, Infinity War, the first Avengers, and Winter
Guardians
Soldier.
is up there.
Guardians is up there. Yeah, it might. It's in my top 5. I really need to think about it because I've never really done it.
First Iron Man.
First Iron Man's up there as well. I need to sit and think. We could do a whole stream just doing this, Jay, because it's a really hard one to pick out. But one thing is for sure. Z-Man is fucking wrong. Z-Man is wrong. He's wrong about a lot of things. If you watch Kenny's stream, you will figure that out for yourself. So don't listen to Z-Man. He's usually wrong about a lot of things. He's wrong about this as well.
But the votes have gone up now. Half the chat has voted, and you've just tipped in the lead by 51%. Come
on. We do need those earlier films. So do you know when Marvel Legends did that Black Panther Legacy line? So they reissued the Black Panther figures that weren't even that old at that point, and they also released their M'Baku who was the Build-A-Figure, but they released him single packed, and that's also they re-released Shuri as well, and they did like a Black Panther Legacy line. One of my most popular live streams from the weekly shows is when we spoke about those Legacy lines, because we bounced off that in regards to what other movies could they make a legacy wave to, and we picked like the first Avengers movie and that first Guardians of the Galaxy film. Like one of my first MCU figures in my collection was Chris Pratt. I think genuinely my first ever MCU figure in my collection was Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow from The Winter Soldier in 2014. Because I didn't buy MCU stuff pre then, but I seen her in Forbidden Planet, and it looked good. And then I brought Chris Pratt as well. The likeness rights weren't there yet, but I liked Star-Lord. He come with the headset and the orb. So yeah, 2014 is when I started buying the MCU figures, and I think that's when they really started ramping up. But yeah, MCU. We're going to get a lot of MCU stuff this year. That's why we're having this conversation now, because there's going to be plenty of streams coming up this year where we're talking about the Doomsday reveals and the Spider-Man reveals, and maybe even more stuff too.
The end of this year is surely going to be massively heavy with Avengers figures. It surely has to be.
Would you
Every company will be doing it, not just Marvel Legends. There'll be Avengers everywhere.
Yeah, I remember when Infinity War and Endgame were out, and like SH Figure Arts and Mafex and Hot Toys, everyone would be showing their stuff. Would you buy, like, if they released all of them in their Doomsday looks, would you buy them all?
I would try not to, because I did do that during the peak of the peak of Infinity War. I think I bought literally every figure from Infinity War and Endgame at the time. So, and then did end up selling them. So if I'm trying to be a bit more strict now and just pick favourites, I should watch the movie, pick my favourite characters. But I'm an impulsive person at times, as you may have gathered. So potentially. It depends. Like, this movie just needs to be good. They really have to have a big hit with this one, and you've got some interesting bringing those X-Men characters back in. Okay, I always enjoy Ian McKellen in anything he's in, so I'm looking forward to this one.
I may keep this image and then, like, just put crosses through them when we get Marvel Legends for them, and then revisit this image at the end of the year and see how many we actually got, because we've got to get figures before the movie comes out. If they want to do, if they're going to push the market in correctly, it's got to be sort of similar to Fantastic Four, where we get the figures like a few weeks or maybe a month or so before the movie actually hits in December, and it's Christmas as well, so people spend money. So yeah, we shall see.
Yeah,
we shall.
It may be earlier than that. I think they probably come out October time. I would be thinking for December.
As soon as
movie.
we see a trailer, it's fair game, isn't it? Like, that's what we need. We haven't even got a Spider-Man trailer yet.
Where is that Spider-Man trailer?
It's got to be soon. It's got to be soon. Yeah. Right, I'm ending the poll at 50 votes, so we need 7 more votes. Right, so if you have not voted in this poll, get your mouse, open up your computer, pick up your phone, and vote in this poll. Which one would you buy? An updated Avengers box set, the best that Marvel Legends have to offer, with great value. I know we're dreaming here with Marvel Legends, but go with me here. Or all of Jay's picks, which is Considious, Iron Man Mark 5, Galactus, Loki from Avengers 1, and the Abomination, of course. Rumour is March 23rd for the Spider trailer, says Bring Toys to Work. Usually Michael's on the ball with stuff like this, so yeah, he's probably on to something.
2 weeks to go then.
Craig's.nostalgic.collector says, I'm with Jay, I loved Avengers Assemble, it gave me goosebumps. That's right, it was called Avengers Assemble in the UK, wasn't it? I forget about that, but it was called Avengers Assemble.
I'm assuming is that because we had the 70s show called, there was a 70s TV show called The Avengers.
Yeah. No, my DVD says Avengers Assemble, not The Avengers, but it's only a UK thing. Nowhere else in the world it was called that. I assume. It wasn't called that in America anyway.
There we are. See, we are.
Doesn't even say the
Ninja
words.
Turtles.
Doesn't even
we
say
couldn't even
the
have the
words.
word ninja in the UK for Turtles. We had Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't even say the words Avengers Assemble in the film. Not until that moment in Endgame does he utter them. It looked like he was about to say it at the end of Ultron, Age of Ultron, but they cut it, didn't they? They cut it just in time. Okay, Z-Man and Compulsive Collector, you can tell they're best friends. They're like high-fiving each other down in the chat there with their movie opinions. Sometimes you're allowed to like a movie without it being critically acclaimed, all right? Just like it 'cause you like it, all right? Its full name was Avengers Beans on Toast, says Justin Collect. He tries to be funny sometimes, doesn't he? Bless him. Like, I appreciate the attempt.
He's tried his best.
I can see the attempt of being funny there, but it misses the mark sometimes, doesn't it? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Do you know what I mean? No one's even mentioned Beans on Toast. There's no relation to Beans on Toast to the Avengers. It just makes no sense, Justin. If anything, we're confused. Right, one more vote, Jay. One more vote. I'm refusing to move.
One more vote.
I refuse to move until we get one more vote.
We are streaming all night.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I don't think you can win even with one more vote.
Yeah, it would be some very dodgy maths if I could, with one vote, take this poll. But as I was suspecting, the Avengers, there we are, have defeated my entire picks with his very cheating pick of an entire cast as one pick.
It was very close. All right, good stuff. Right, I appreciate everybody. We didn't unlock the bonus show public today, but that's okay. The bonus show is still happening, as it always does, regardless. So the bonus show today will be speaking about what gaps you would like to fill in the MCU, or I guarantee you, people come on this after show, right, Jay, that don't collect or give a fuck about the MCU figures, but they're still going to come on and tell us what they wouldn't buy. Guarantee
you may get a full rundown of the Avengers 1 reviews potentially happening here on the now bonus after show.
I'm like one of the only people I know within the UK lot anyway that does get all the MCU stuff. Like, even the Eternals are at the back of a shelf down there with my new risers.
You've hidden them. At the back.
They are hidden at the back. Right, so Okay, so yeah, we're going to go after the bonus show and talk about the MCU. But I do like talking about the MCU, people, whether you like it or not. And I will be back to talk about them again when we get some new Spider-Man reveals, when we get some new Doomsday reveals. Like, we're going to be talking about it quite a bit this year, all right? So buckle in, and let's all just hope for some good movies. At the end of the day, that's all we want, some good content, all right? Let's bring the MCU back to life because right now it's on life support. But Jay, tell the good people where they can find you online.
You can find me here on YouTube at Jay's Toy Collection UK, and I hopefully will put a video out at some point this week, and I've recovered from the man flu.
All good. Well, hopefully a speedy recovery there. That man flu, some serious stuff.
Shocking stuff.
Yeah, so I want to finish by saying it is a Legends and Liquor weekend. So if you are a channel member at the Members Club tier, then you know Legends and Liquor is the place to be. I promise to update the duck race. So it's going to be the first reveal of this season's duck race table. So who's at the lead? We're going to find out. So I will reveal this season's duck race table for the first time. I don't even know what it is yet, so I'll figure that out. But I'll be showing it on Legend of Liquor this weekend. Start hitting me up with some fresh DMs.
Do you think I've even got a point? Not a single point now of all these regulars coming on.
Oh shit, maybe yeah, because you're not coming on the stream now. You're not even getting the bonuses. Why don't you just pop in for 10 minutes and then just drop out again, and then technically you're qualified?
I'll pop in, do all of my pickups, because I seem to have bought the entire NECA collection of Universal Monsters this week, so that will that would keep you busy for a minute.
Pop in and do your pickups. I do have some pickups, actually. I'll show this on Legend of Liquor, but this arrived today, people. Like, I don't know if anyone cares, but this is the Ghostbusters 4-pack with the more movie-accurate Ghostbusters, and it comes in this packaging, and you open it up, and they're all there. The rooftop showdown. New head sculpts as well. The colours of their uniforms are a little bit darker, a little bit more screen accurate. All of them come with blasts and stuff as well. Tempted to do a review because there's no reviews on YouTube right now. So I have the opportunity to be one of the first, but does anyone care? There's the back of the box for anyone. So I have an opportunity to do that maybe this weekend. Surely this would have been done better as a review than my fucking variant Sentinels. Maybe I should have just not done them at all. So there's that. And also, as a Marvel-related pickup to end, Blocky sent me these. But I don't like reviewing Blockies because they take fucking ages to build. Don't tell them I said that. But Venom, Spider-Man, and Speeder, SPP/DR. So I am actually curious to build him to see what he scales like with Marvel Legends. So I might actually do a video of this one and compare him to the Marvel Legends and see if we can get like a better articulated Spider-Man to add to our collection, maybe, possibly. I'm not one to mix lines, but I know other people out there are a little bit more wild than me, and it is Marvel Rivals, which, as you know, I am an expert on because I have definitely played that game before. Definitely have. Right, Jay? You're a big gamer as well, yeah?
Massive gamer. I bought a Nintendo Switch on launch day. I've played it regularly since. Very
I can
regularly.
hear the confidence in that for sure. All right, so yeah, Legend of Liquor this weekend, people. Send me a DM if you want to be on that. Otherwise, we're going over to the bonus show, which is going to be private today. So we're going to speak about you all now. This is what happens when you don't unlock the bonus show. We now go and bitch about you all behind closed doors, and you've only got yourself to blame, all right? Go and follow Jay on Instagram at Jays_Toy Collection UK. He will have a YouTube video very soon, he has promised us, and I'll be back on Sunday, all right? Give him a wave, Jay. Bye-bye. I need to fix my middle screen. It doesn't sit right. But anyway, I'll fix it eventually. Click one of these. I don't know what I'm going to put here. It'll be a surprise to me and, well, not to you, because you're going to see it if you're here on the replay. So let me know on the replay, actually, what your favourite MCU movie is. I'm always curious. Let me know in the comments. Bye-bye.